The PlayStation is home to a pretty substantial amount of pinball video games, a genre near and dear to my heart. And the selection of PS1 pinball has some pretty good stuff. Some great ones, some groovy ones, but we're gonna get truly unhinged here today with ParanoiaScape. Certainly the most bizarre and twisted pinball game I've ever played on any system. Trypophobic folks out there might want to avoid this one. Now, this was released in 1998, exclusively in Japan, published by Mathilda, and seemingly the only PS1 game they ever made. But development was by Jorudan, a studio which started up in 1991 and has some interesting stuff in their past body of work, including some Super Nintendo dank jank like Zardion and Musia, and lots of hamster games on handhelds. In these days, they seem to be keeping in business by managing a public transportation website. But the main creative force behind ParanoiaScape is Screaming Mad George, a special effects artist infamous for his grotesque practical effects, and with a pretty incredible resume of films he's been involved with, including Predator, Nightmare on Elm Street 3 and 4, Society, Freaked, and also co-directed the live-action Guyver movie. Now, this would be his first and only video game project, but his talents for twisted and surreal body horror are displayed in full force here, as he was in charge of the game's direction, creature design, and even the soundtrack, pulling from his punk roots in the late 70s. While one might expect him to make some kind of weird survival horror game or something, instead his vision would be to create a pinball game, but with an unusual first-person perspective that has you moving your pair of skeletal flippers through various fleshscapes and nightmarish realms, with different stages offering up various objectives to progress forward, all while trying to keep your brain ball in play and managing the health bar of the two flying skeleton dudes you're guiding around. Now, there are 3 stages total, but they're split up into 3 smaller parts each, with environments ranging from pulsating pathways adorned with alien creatures and writhing mouths, to intestinal tracts leading to rivers of bile. And sometimes you just need to push forward through the stage to the end, but sometimes there may be some kind of larger boss-type monster that needs to be defeated, like a glowing wireframe bug, and whatever this is. Or sometimes the goal may be a bit more unclear, especially if you can't read the Japanese instructions preceding the levels. But it's still an interesting bit of variety beyond the usual pinball gameplay of just trying for a good score. But hey, there's that too. You can still earn bonus points per stage, and there's methods to exponentially increase the bonuses with some skilled play. Now, executing skilled play is certainly a bit tough at first, with some rather odd physics and very jank collision and hitboxes all around, but the real star of the show here is the visuals. Everything is just so unusual and unsettling. It's a unique blend of body horror and psychedelia, accompanied by an abrasive industrial rock soundtrack, and everything is just undeniably Screaming Mad George. The game may feel like it's held together by duct tape at times, but you have to commend that he stuck to his vision and wasn't afraid to get weird and experimental here. It's also a pretty short game. It's easily finished within an hour or less, which in some cases could be a complaint, but I think extending the experience much more might wear thin pretty fast. I was certainly perplexed by the final stage, which no longer has the pinball approach, but instead you move around this creepy doll, avoiding zombies and finding king and queen dolls, putting them into a bed, establishing a new life in this surreal world. Really makes you think. It's too bad Screaming Mad George never made another game. Based on the to be continued here, it seems like he might have wanted to. But ParanoiaScape would drift off into obscurity and now just exists as a rare oddity in the PS1 library. Now, if you're into bizarre horror or totally wild takes on pinball, I would absolutely suggest giving this a play sometime. It does at least have 3 difficulty modes, which is nice to set to easy if you want to just see the weird levels. But hard mode definitely offers up a nice challenge in case you come to grips with the gameplay itself. And if you like the first-person pinball concept, the closest matching game I can think of would have to be Pétanque, a 3DO game I covered in an overlooked A to Z video if you haven't watched that yet. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this little oddball game today. Thanks so much for watching and supporting the channel. It really means a lot. We'll catch you next time.